Back at it with some pocket jets. Now, I got a lot of hate for calling these pocket jets because they don't fit in your pocket, but that's what I call them, man. They're a great size, and if I'm being honest, I actually didn't want these initially. Hobby Zone reached out. They wanted to send me some stuff. I asked them to send that F-15, which I absolutely love. And after that, I said, hey, why not? Let me try one of these because that F-15 was so good. And I fell in love with these things. They really are amazing. They're only 3-channel, which I thought was going to be a little funny. But no, man, they're actually amazing. Now, check it out down here. I have the BAE Hawk, which I actually totaled. And I'm telling you that because I don't want you guys to make the same mistake that I made. Now, because these are 3-channel, they have they have an aileron. They have your throttle, your aileron, your elevator. And the last one is for a gyro that's built into it. So if you're using a basic 4-channel receiver like I was, you're going to plug that into the rudder port. Now you want to go into your remote, you want to go to channel assigning, you want to set your rudder to your gear switch. I didn't do that with this one. So every time I hit the rudder, it was turning on the gyro. I wasn't thinking about it. I was trying to correct back, forth. Eventually the thing just kind of went into a stall and met its demise. So 100% my fault. Make sure you set that if you're using a 4-channel. If you're using a 6-channel receiver, just plug in the gyro to your typical gear channel and you're not going to have an issue. But yeah, so I can't tell you how this one flies because I did crash it, but it was pretty looking before I totaled the thing. So today we're flying the T-33. We also have this L-39. These are 50mm fans, 4,500 kV motors. They're supposed to run on 3S. It's a 30 amp ESC, but I have been running a 4S. So what I want to do for you guys, man, I want to start out on 3S, and then we're going to switch it over to 4S. I got a GPS. We're going to see how fast these things are, and I want to show you why I love them so much. So let's get a battery in this. Let's get these things in the air. Now, I want you guys to see inside just how much room these things have. I have the battery up front. This is the size they recommend with this. So it's a 1500 milliamp 3S pack. Again, I do run 4S, and I'm going to show you that. But I want to run it the way they're recommending it. Now, I learned with these, the best thing to do is take off with the gyro. Right? So my gyro's on right now. As you see, it'll level out. And then I shut it off with my gear switch, and now I have full control. So when I take off with the gyro on, it gives you a little better control on that takeoff. Then I'm going to shut it off. So let's get this thing up. So we're going to throw it into the wind. We're going to go full throttle. And we're up. And my gyro is... Actually, you know what? I'm leaving the gyro on for a second. I just want you guys to see just how stable this thing is. So right now I'm about 60% throttle. I'm bringing it around. Now, as I'm flying by, I'm letting go of the sticks completely right now. Oh, it's a little nose heavy. A little nose heavy. Let me trim that out. Big nose heavy. Let me trim that out for a second. And there we go. All right. So gyro's on. Hey, look at my hand. You ready? I'm going to turn it and bring it around. Completely off. It's flying perfect. So that's with the gyro. You don't need the gyro, so I'm shutting it off. Let's do a nice speed pass, nice and low. Power's coming on. And this is on 3S, remember. Plenty of roll rate. It's got good climb. Now, the thing with climbing is funny with these because you don't have that rudder. So you also want to be careful when you're bringing it into like a spin or something because you don't have the rudder to kick out. So definitely be careful. But other than that, man, top tier jets. If they do ever make these with a rudder, I think this is probably going to be one of the most sold jets ever made. $160 for these things. The reason I call them pocket jets, you literally fit them anywhere. Me and Cheyenne were just out to breakfast. I brought 3 of these things in the back of the truck. You wouldn't even know they're there. So if you're bringing like a giant gas plane or something massive to the field and you want to have another plane to fly, you can put this up front with you by your feet. You're not even going to notice it's there. And that's why I call them pocket jets. Good control, no tendency to want to stall. Again, I don't have the rudder to kind of keep it up in that turn, but let's see. Yeah, not terrible. T-33 looks good in the air, man. I'm liking this thing. They're not the loudest. They're only 11 blade EDFs, but they do sound good. It's a little windy, so I'm hoping we are picking up the sound of it. She definitely missed that. All right, let's bring it around. Let's do a touch and go. Just because it doesn't have a landing gear doesn't mean you can't hit the bottom. It has protectors over the servos, so you're able to kind of... Hey! Double touch. And again, let's do a nice speed pass. You know what I want to do real quick, actually? Let's bring this in for a land. I have my GPS with me. I want to see how fast this actually is on 3S before the battery is all the way depleted. So let's bring it in for a land. Glides. Hey, I'm going to leave it right there for a second. Let me grab that GPS. Set it to peak speed. We're at 0 right now. So let's just shove this thing in here. Let's see. The key to really getting the speed of these is stay level. You want to be level flight. You don't want to pitch up or down because that's going to change, obviously, the speed of it. So let's see. I want to compare it to what it does on 4S. Again, gyro's back on now for the takeoff. And gyro's off. We're going to keep it nice and level. I don't want the pitch to change the speed of it. And power's coming on now. Full throttle. All right, let's bring it in. Let's see. It's about, I've been in the air total for 3.5 minutes. Not sure how long. I think you'll probably get about 5 minutes of flight. With the 4S, I'm really punching it, so I'll probably get a little bit less. Got a nice little headwind right now. Hey, all right. I'm gonna say that was probably 58 miles an hour. And it didn't record. Why did not you record? No, 23? That can't be right. That's not right. Let's reset that. That can't be right. All right. It's probably risky throwing this thing back in the air with a low battery, but that's what I do. I risk it. Gyro's on. All right. Gyro's off. Power's on. Ah.
Battery's dying.
What is? The plane?
I'm saying the battery.
Nah.
I mean, it looked quicker before.
Butter. What are we thinking? If that was 23 miles an hour, I'm going to be very amazed because I feel like that looked a lot faster. 34. So maybe, it's pretty slow on 3S. Wait till you see how fast it is on 4S. Let's get a new battery in this thing and send it. Let's see. I was in the air for 4 minutes and some odd seconds, and we are at 3.75. So 23% left. So yeah, you're gonna get the full 5 minutes on one of these cheap little batteries. Now this a little bit bigger, similar size, but it is a little bigger, a little heavier. This is a 1300 milliamp rather than 1500. This is a 4S. This is a 3S. Let's get the 4S in and we'll have some fun. I'll show you the power difference. I'll do some climbs and stuff, and then I'll bring it down, and then we'll put the GPS in and we'll see the speed difference. But right off the bat, you're going to hear the difference. You're going to see the difference. 4S is the way to go. On the website, they tell you to use 3S, but like I said, we'd like to mix it up a little bit. I've been flying 4S in this for a while now. I have not had an issue. The funnest planes, pocket jets. And it did not initialize because I moved it. You got to remember, guys, it has a gyro. You got to let the gyro initialize. I'm always rushing around. You'll see everything move. That wind's kicking. It was supposed to be calm today. There it goes. There it goes. All right, make sure the gyro's on for the throw, and we're tossing it. I'm just gonna throw it right here. You're gonna hear the difference right off the bat. All right, gyro's off. I'm bringing it around for a speed pass right off the bat. That way they can see how fast this thing is. And throttle's on. .4S, this thing is a monster. Sounds good, looks good. You know, if you guys are looking for like some odd of a beginner jet, you know, one thing that beginners always do is they break that landing gear. So if, you know, you're scared to break a landing gear, you can't break it on this because there is no landing gear. You know what I want to do too? I want to show you something. You know, if you guys aren't fond of hand throwing, just because it doesn't have a landing gear doesn't mean you can't take off the ground. With 4S in, you could actually just take off right off the ground. Bring it to a stop, punch it. Little speed and lift. This thing is a powerhouse on 4S. Again, I know it's windy, but I hope that camera's catching the sound. Because even though it's only 50mm 11 gauge, you got good sound. And you know what's funny is I brought this out. You know, I flew with Tail Heavy Productions a couple days ago, and some of their friends over on Shelter Island. I brought these out, and again, everybody says the same thing when they see this. Kind of the same thing that I said. It's not a plane that they would typically buy. My power's off. But once you see these things flying at the field, or you see somebody that has one and you try them, you're like, actually, you know what? For 150, 160 bucks, I got to pick one of these things up. Because they're just a lot of fun, man. And again, they fit anywhere. Bring it up, get into a little stick jam action. All right, now I'm gonna do the same thing real quick. I'm gonna bring this in for a land. We're gonna see how fast this thing is on 4S. It's definitely a lot faster than that 3S pack, I'll tell you that much. Beautiful. Keeping it level, throttle's back for the turn.
Did you move?
Power's on. Whoa. I'm gonna keep the throttle off, not off, but low for a second. I'm gonna bring it around, maybe give that GPS a second to initiate, and we'll do one more pass. That way we make sure we get a reading. I've been in the air total on this pack 3 minutes. This one, because it's a little smaller, only 4 minutes, I'll keep it up. Hopefully I'll bring it down around the same, 3.8 volts a cell. Power's off on the turn, and let's see what she does. Power's coming on now. I feel like the battery's dying, and it's low voltage cutoff. We were risking it. Well, hopefully we got a GPS reading. I got no throttle, very little throttle. How'd I do? All right, let's see. All right, we got a reading. 73 miles an hour. So what is that? Just about double. What were we, 32? Was max? 32? Low voltage cutoff at 3.5 minutes on this one. Like I said, I'm a little heavier on that pack. So now I got one more 4S pack. Let's put it in that L39 and see if that one's any faster. It might be. Or maybe I'll just do it fresh on the pack, see if we can hit 80. I think we'll be able to hit 80. Let's get that L39 in the air and see what it's about. I actually realized that I personally never flew this one. I let Christian fly this one. And me and him actually had some fun with the two of these for some short form content. He did like it. He had fun, and he did say he wants to get one himself now. So right off the bat, I'm actually going to throw this in while the battery's fresh, because I want to see if we can break 80 miles an hour. I really think we can. So let's get this in right off the bat. Mode, speed, peak. Let's throw that in there. We'll do 2 passes with that. We'll bring it in. We'll see how fast we went. Let's make sure everything's moving the right way. Yes, yes, yes. Gyro's on. Now let's throw it. Well, that was sketchy. Let's trim this out real quick. And good enough. All right. Nice and low. And power's coming on. What do you think? Our GPS agreed with us? You think we got a reading? Should I do one more pass?
Do one more.
One more pass, just in case. Let me trim it out while I'm flying, because it's kind of all over. Like I said, I've never flown this one from my remote. All right. Speed pass, number 2. And the power is coming on. If you guys are wondering why this is all over the place, I don't have any Expo. Like I said, it's the first time I flew this plane on my remote. So it's 100% throws on everything. Me, I like to run a little Expo. I usually like 30% aileron, 30% on the elevator. This doesn't have rudder, so it wouldn't apply. Let's see how fast this thing was. I think we hit 80. Well, that was rough.
Oh.
Before I even show you that speed, let's look underneath this thing, why it's all right to land it. I didn't show you guys. So it has these servo covers, and they're hard plastic. It's got these, so the bottom is going to get a little scratched up. A lot of people probably want to fly these from grass. I don't care about the bottom of the plane all that much. 8-0. We hit 80. Love that. So yeah, man, 50 millimeter, 80 miles an hour, not bad. Real quick, I'm going to add a little bit of Expo on this, and then I'm going to fly out the rest of this pack. And let's see, aileron, elevator, let's hike that up a little bit. Beautiful. Let's take this off right off the ground. I really hope with this wind that this is catching the sound of these things, because they do really sound good. Even though it's normally 12 blade fans sound a little better. You guys see how much more stable it is now? A little bit of Expo helps, man. Always run some Expo if your fingers are shaking from the cold, or you're nervous or anything like that. 4S got nice vertical performance. Coming down. I tell you what, on those dives, we're definitely breaking 100. We didn't show slow flight. Let's see if we can slow this down without stalling it. I don't know if you guys see, somebody's back there flying in the distance. It's hard to harry when you don't have a rudder, but let's bring it around. I won't harry, I'll just fly slow. I was trying to bring it into a harrier for the pass. It does fly slow good though, because it is a lighter plane. So you don't always have to be pinched or full on the throttle. It's got good control in small areas. If you guys are wanting to learn how to fly a jet, this isn't a bad first option because it has that gyro. The gyro does keep it fully level. I just turned the gyro on. Hey, look at my hands. I could even put this down for a second. As long as I keep an eye on it, it's gonna fly itself. Then I'll pick it up, bring it around. Let me shut that gyro off. Their gyro is called Vector, I believe. Everybody has their own name for it. They call theirs Vector. It's kind of a cool name if you think about it. Power's off. All right, let's bring it in. It's cold out here, man. Super Bowl Sunday I'm filming. Looking forward to the game later. we'll see who wins. By the time you guys see this video, the winner will already be out. So hopefully you guys won some money. If you did, maybe you could pick yourself up one of these cool little jets. And we're in. And that's it, 50mm EDFs. Like I said, man, if you guys are looking for a cheap plane, second plane, third plane, just something to bring to the field when you're bringing some of your bigger stuff, these are fun. On 4S, they have plenty of performance. On 3S, if you're trying to train somebody, it does have the gyro, so they're a good option. I'm not really pitching these because, you know, the company sent me them. I'm pitching them because I actually like them. If you ever notice in some of my other videos, you'll see these in the background because I bring them to the field as a second plane to fly. They're fun, man. They're light, they're fast, they sound good. They look good. And these aren't the only 3 available. There's a few more on their site. So as I said, I'll leave these linked below, and I'll also leave links to the other ones if you guys want to check them out. As always, I appreciate you watching. Until next time.